Shannon, Scrappy Cathy here with Challenge Accepted. And as you know, this is a collaboration between myself and Shannon Allor, and sometimes we have some guests. And this month, Shannon and I are doing a series called May I Scraplift You? And there are you'll see a bunch of people with the logo. You may have noticed a little bit different logo on the thumbnail that shows a collaboration between Challenge Accepted and May I Scraplift You. And instead of using the selection of people that was provided in the group, I decided this first time I'm going to scraplift Shannon. And then for the next times that I do May I Scraplift You, I will be doing them on every Thursday. And let me pull my calendar out and see how many Thursdays we have in May. It looks like we have 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so for the next 3 Thursdays and every other time I do it, I'm going to kind of randomly do it every once in a while and make a video each time. Every time I do that, I'm going to scraplift one of my subscribers or one of my YouTube Instagram followers. YouTube subscribers or Instagram followers who comments and whose work I have access to. I can go take a look at. And I won't know who it is until I sit down to actually do it. And so it'll be a surprise each week. And the name of who I've scraplifted will be in the title of the video. So there's a little setup for you. So this is Shannon's layout that I'm going to lift today. I love it. It's Cocoa Vanilla Sunkissed. You've seen me use it. I absolutely love it. And I initially thought about lifting this, the colors and the flowers and the patterns in this. And then the load prompt came out, and it was, it's based on the Golden Girls. And this one, today's prompt is based on a kind of influenced or inspired by Rose, who is a sweet, soft, so the technique prompt was to use a sweet color palette, kind of a softer color palette, and maybe use a rose on it. And it's also to kind of talk about something that someone said that was, kind of a sweet saying that someone said. So I have had this photo of these 2 penguins. I call them penguins in love. For a while and wasn't quite sure what I was going to do with it. I thought about maybe cutting them out and using them as an embellishment on a page about John's love of penguins. And I thought, why not just use the photo itself, because this photo tells a love story in my opinion. And I love it, and John would have loved it. And so I'm going to do it in his honor. And let me show you the supplies I'm going to use. I'll pull that back later. Well, let me show you the things that I'm noticing here. The dark, almost solid frame around these flowers kind of tends to corral it in. So I'm using a floral paper that's also busy, though in softer colors and in a different way. And because the penguins are black and white, I'm adding black to around a black frame around it. And I've gutted it so that I have that black to use for mats. So I have my piece right here. And I wanted to well, let me just go back here. There's a cluster right here that has flowers that are kind of raised up and a little bit, you know, a few images that are different from the flowers, so it kind of stands out. And there's a solid red piece of paper there, and then this blue or teal kind of a banner there. And then that teal is used in a strip here, and there's a strip of this rainbow paper here, and then a yellow paper around there. So there are some almost solid, less busy type prints that are kind of grounding the photo cluster and then this embellishment cluster. So I'm going to try to do that. I'll have some things along the bottom, although it's not going to quite be like that. And then I'll have a cluster up here. So I'm going to put that aside, and I'll show you where I'm getting things from. Up in here, I'm going to use this yellow check, and there's no yellow in this print, but there is yellow on the penguins, so I'm adding it in a few places. So I'm going to put the horizontal or vertical strip here, and I will cut I'll cut a banner out of something. I'm not quite sure. I'll have to look at my scraps there. And instead of the teal, well, I'll actually cut it out of the pink. Instead of the teal strip behind the photo, I'm going to use this pink strip, but I'm also going to use this yellow bag. And what I like about it is, if you'll notice the yellow kind of, it's yellow moving towards orange on there. So if I put this yellow bag over the pink, it kind of picks up on that pink and it turns it a little bit orange. So over the white part of the paper here, it's yellower, and so I'll have that down here. So I'm going to put that there. I'm not quite sure how I'm going to affix it or anything like that. And the strip that she has rainbows, I wanted to have something that was a little bit less pinky or flowery. Both of those, the pink and the yellow, came from this Echo Park 6x6 pad called Welcome Spring. And I really wanted, if I had a different background paper, I really wanted to use this red polka dot, but it just wasn't to be. So I've got this Cocoa Vanilla Legendary, and I have another sheet of this paper. I thought about maybe using this, and those brush strokes would have kind of gone with the loosely watercolored flowers there. But I kind of like this because it's such a different print. It is a white background, but I think it's still gonna show up. Okay, so, and I will tell you that I absolutely loved this reverse paper. And I had another sheet, didn't want to lose it, but I did want some flowers for my clusters. So I took the other sheet and I gutted it there, and that left me with this rectangular, kind of about 4x6, I think it looks like, to cut my flowers out of. And I cut the flowers, it left me with some more. I have these two strips that I cut off of this paper to get it down. And because I took Vicki Boutin's class and learned all about how to use paper clips, I'm paper clipping all of this together because I know it all goes, and I now have a few more flowers I can cut out, and I can put some other pattern paper in front of this and use this as a background. And I've got that beautiful kind of peachy color here, and the more purpley pink down here, and the nice ombre still shows on either side. So I can cover up that hole and you'll never know it was there. So I'm going to put that back. And just to let you know, this is a Pink Fresh paper. It is from the Celebrate collection, and it's called Progress. And who doesn't want progress, right? All of this, everything you see me use today, is coming from Mind the Scrap kits. And I believe this is the April kit that I'm using. The May kit is going to be arriving any day, so I actually moved everything from the April kit into the stand that had what I call previous kits, things that are kind of distinct to Mind the Scrap kits and couldn't be put away with other things. So in the kit, among the things I'm using, there is a little acrylic heart, a yellow acrylic heart, again bringing that yellow color in, that comes from this Obed Marshall Buenos Dias collection. And it's got some of the cutest little, and all of these acrylic pieces are actually self-adhesive. So that's kind of nice. And I've used some ephemera from the Jen Hadfield's Reaching Out collection. I haven't, and I've pulled a lot of those things and put them in here. And one of the things that's kind of cool is in this Reaching Out collection, some of the ephemera have things grouped, like several things grouped on a single piece. And you could use the single piece by itself, or you could fussy cut them apart like I did this. These were on the card kind of like that, so I just fussy cut them out. And I did the same with these little butterflies. They were all on the same kind of curvy piece of ephemera, and you could have used it all together, kind of like these 3 hearts. Now, I'm not going to cut the 3 hearts apart. These colors just really go well with the coral rose that's there. And I've got a couple rainbows, and I've got black and white. I'm really wanting to emphasize the black and white. So I've got 3 different black and white patterns of Dotty About Flair. And I've got this peace sign, which just kind of struck me. It's kind of a 60s symbol, and it's kind of wonky, and I thought I might use that somewhere. So let me put my fussy cut flowers on here, and that's my embellishment selection. I've got, also from Mind the Scrap Kits, is this sheet of Simple Stories Hello Today brads. And I had my eye on this camera, but I liked some of the other things, but I thought, I don't know that I want to punch holes. These brads are adhesive, and there are no little tongs that you have to stick through holes, but they look exactly like the other kinds of brads. So I'm going to use this ampersand, and that's especially for Natalie Nelson, who is always asking, why on earth are there so many ampersands? What on earth do you use them for? And I like to use them whenever I have a picture of me and my husband, or kids together or something like that. Just when you're talking about togetherness, to me that's a symbol for togetherness. But what I really have my eye on is this flower that's black and white, and so I will use the camera and that. And then I also have these Pink Fresh, also from Mind the Scrap Kit, these Pink Fresh circles that are kind of chipboard flair. And I'm not quite sure which one of those I'll use. There are none that if I use them, it'll be for the color and not necessarily for the saying on it. And I'll kind of, I'm looking at this 2-tone pink, and that the word favorite, would be nice. But I also really like this arrow and circles and dots for some reason. I really like that. So put that aside, and that's among my choices. Another thing I'm expecting to use is maybe this flower as a base for something else. I elected to use the little Jen Hadfield rainbows instead of these, although I really like these. What I like here on this sheet is I have my eye on this little black and white label, And I might go for this large round pink label. There's this kind of stripy, pale blue, mint greenish kind of color, but it's not quite the green that's there, and I don't want to depart too much from that if I'm using solid colors. And I have a couple of alphas. I'm going to call it Happy Feet, and it's kind of a long title. So, well, actually, I'm not gonna call it Happy Feet. I'm going to somewhere maybe up at the top put the word so and then happy, and I'm gonna do it on the photo. And so therefore I'm gonna use these pink ones. There's some multicolored ones on the other side that would be pretty, and I could possibly make the words out of the colors that I wanted to use. This green is exactly the right color, so I'll just see if I want to work that hard. Okay, and these are so cute. There's like little designs. They're white, but they're little gold embossed designs on there, and they're also pink fresh, but they're too big to do what I want to do here. So the reason that I'm going to use happy is A, because those penguins look happy, but B, one of the load prompt about something cute that a child said. Ava used to ask, why do penguins have happy feet? Because of the Happy Feet movie. And so I'm going to, I don't do a nod to that, but on a label or something that I picked where I can do a little bit of handwritten journaling, I'll write quotes for why do penguins have happy feet. And then I'll write Ava and the date, or the year. So first thing I'm gonna do is my base for and I'm just kind of cutting a piece, a randomly sized piece. It's really just forming a base, a different color base that kind of stands out from this for embellishments. So, and I'm just gonna put it on flat without raising it on dots or anything, or on foam, because everything on it is going to be raised. Okay, now the next piece I want to be sure and cut is going to kind of go, and I want to see, I'm going to maybe make that 3 inches. Haven't really, let's go with 4 inches. And that still leaves me enough to do my, so that's a 4x6. And again, I'm gonna put that flat down. Those little boots on the other side are so cute. So stinking cute. Okay, there. And then let me do my, before I forget it, let me do my, I'm gonna make that 1.5 inches. And I'm gonna go to my 3/4 line here and just come down a bit. And then that centers it, and I can do this and this. And then we'll see. I don't think that's got enough on it for me to use, so it's bigger in the scrap pile. Okay, and this probably can go, I can probably cut that much off of it. And I may let it cross the frame border. I may let it do this. And that'll kind of, and it would just kind of make it stand out a bit. I'm going to curl that up and put a little bit of foam. Let me start using these. These are really wonderful foam squares, or I should say rectangles, but it's really hard to get the, I like the thickness, I like how well they adhere, but sadly the this part just peels off. So hard to peel off. Okay, so that's propped up on foam there, but leaves this flat to kind of put some things there. So let me go, here's where I take my neat little tray of things and start. So I think I like this. Anyway, I'm coming to the end of my foam where is it? My foam tape. And I said to myself, you need to order some more foam tape. And I thought, well, no, let's use all the foam things that I already have, and I can hold off spending that money for just a little while. Okay, so I've got that there, and I'm going to use these little hearts. And the reason I did that was because that color coral is going to be down here, but these hearts bring that coral up to this corner. It doesn't make sense, and I'm like everybody else kind of thinking, wow, I should have used these hearts with that because that color's there, but I want that color up here too. So what I'm going to do is put a little bit of foam on this heart and let it kind of sit on top of that rainbow. And I may be sneaking something in there. I kind of want to put it off the corner there. And again, so that that's crossing that line. And I want to use one of these gold sprigs. And let me cut a piece of this. I haven't completely thought out the design. Like sometimes I know before I film what's going to go where. This butterfly has blue on it, which is not in the palette that although it is going to be here. Well, okay, then maybe we want the blue up here, because if that blue is going to be down here, we'll have the blue and coral together up here. Okay, so that was, let me put this right here. Yeah, I just messaged Adam. I'm sure he's tired of hearing from me about all the things that ideas I have for flares. I'll just kind of have it pointing that way, and then I need something right here, and this may be where where I do this there, and then have a flower kind of coming off of that, kind of building up there. Okay, let me get the adhesive on the flare. And this gives me a big pop of black up there. Because I'm using the bag, and that bag, the little mesh bag, is from SpiegelMom Scraps. So I had a sequin order, and it came separated into 3 little bags. I have a blue one, a teal one, and a hot pink, so fuchsia. So I'll be using these, and not for storage. They'll show up on layouts. They're just too pretty not to use, right? Okay, this is gonna also get, and these little foam squares just are, what I ought to do is say I'll use those for times when I don't film, but these days I hardly make any layouts. Now with big like weekend crops and things like that, I do make layouts without filming, but lately, okay, so that goes there, and it seems like I could use something else. Okay, let's do, I've got this leaf sprig, and you know how I love my leaf sprigs. Let me do this, and I know you're probably saying, okay, what's the deal with Scrappy Kathy doing pastels? Let's see, I'm looking for another one that would work there, and I'm going to put that one down, or maybe have it like that. Just kind of do that. I just love using these little brads, and you know, they'd be so hard to use if we okay, so now, well, let me cut the piece, and I need a vertical piece, and I want my triangles to be standing up. I probably should gut this the same way, but I have another sheet, and I think I'm okay. That doesn't have a branding strip that's usable on a layout. Let me go like this. And I'm going to notch it. Let's see, how big is that? That's 2.5, so I need 1 1/4. 1 1/4 puts it halfway. And I'm going to notch it at the top. There will be a cluster up there, but it's not going to be overlapping the photo. The title's going to be on the photo, and I don't want anything overlapping that, obviously. So okay, so I'm going to do this, and it's going to show up above instead of down below, and I'm going to do something like, you know, we'll see. And again, I'm going to prop the tail up, but the rest of it's going to get glued down. Okay, now, and I want the bag upside down. I mean, I guess I could do it that way, but for some reason I'm picturing it upside down because there's kind of some interest down in a horizontal line underneath the photo, and I'm gonna let this squishy part of the bag be that interest on mine. Okay, so I want this, the yellow crossing both the white and the pink. And then the photo can go right kind of there. So I may staple it on. Let's see if my staple reaches that far. And if it doesn't, I may have to pull it over. Okay, so the bag is stapled there, and I will do some liquid glue in the part that I know is going to be under the photo. I'm going to put some foam on the photo, behind the photo. I actually put some foam behind the photo before affixing it to the black, and now I'm going to put some foam on the black part. And I'm going to see if burnish it without touching the glossy photo. We'll see how that plays out. I think I'm going to do this right here, and I'll lift it up on some foam. So I'll start building, and I thought maybe I would do some journaling. On the original, Shannon's got hers in strips, and strips would have been cute over this bag, but I don't know that there's enough real estate for that. So I'm going to put a couple of these guys here, and I know you're seeing a lot of disarray there, and that's, I'm trying to make sure that I have room for the important stuff, and I have so many cute little embellishments that I am so anxious to pile on, like this rainbow and the flowers and leaf sprigs, but I want to be sure I get the important stuff out there. So this is, I'm gonna kind of do it like this so that it kind of helps hold down the bag, and I think that's going to work. Let me get some of my stuff here. I'm gonna put this here, and then maybe the rainbow like that. So I'll put the peace sign flat, like that. And then this is going to have some foam. Get where I'm not having to use the whole or handle the whole roll. And then I want to use that pink favorite. So I'm going to do that right there, and then let it kind of be propped up on here. And again, that glue is kind of holding the bag down. I'm slightly overlapping the bag. So let me get this. I'm not going to use the pink up there because the it would kind of clash with that coral. So I'm going to actually put it in there, and I'll leave the favorite because, you know, it's kind of his favorite animal or whatever. I've got this ampersand that I can overlap there, and that holds down the photo. It's not sticking too well to the plastic, the mesh bag. So this kind of holds it to the journaling square, which is tacked on really well with that foam adhesive. So we've got that going there, and I've got this. Let me see if I can do that. That kind of, or how about like this? There, I like that. And I'm going to use wet glue, which will get soaked in by the mesh, but I'll put a little on this side so it'll touch the mat of that photo. And I'm gonna press it down, and the mat's on foam, so it's gonna lift it up. And so it gives it that dimension that I wanted to see. And let's see, I think I want this. If I did this, it's got that same kind of shape as the rainbow, but this one is very different. So let's see, can I do that? Yeah, I like that there. Let me get this out. Come on. I love black and white in color, and I use black and white a lot with bright colors, but it also works with a pastel palette. To me, it works because of the black outlines of all these flowers. And let me get it so that the zigzags are straight. We can't have crooked zigzags when it comes up to a straight line like that. I like for them to also be straight. So I thought maybe I could do this flower right there, kind of hidden a little bit under the bag. And so I'm going to do that. And I'll use one of my leaf sprigs, and then I'll start building something over. Actually, I've kind of got it on this side. So we'll have this, this, and then come down to this. So it'll, instead of, I'll have 3 clusters, and they'll kind of be, okay, so it's going to do that. There. Okay. Now, I've got this leaf sprig, which could kind of come down like that. And it crosses, it's green, so it's going to contrast with the pink. It'll really show up. And it'll kind of overlap the back there. Oh, I like that. I like that a lot. Okay, and I've got this heart, which I think I might like to sneak in here. And then I'm going to layer that little yellow heart on top of that. And I've got more butterflies to use and all kinds of fun things. Okay, there. And then let me take the adhesive backing off this and put that there. And it's layered over the pink and the gold. And so I think that kind of makes it show up. Now, this orange flower I want to use here because it's kind of close to the penguin. So this needs to be up on foam so that it raises that ampersand up. The ampersand's a little bit lower, or it's kind of leaning. And I don't like that look. Although I used it the other day when I layered a little acrylic heart. Let me get that under there. Maybe also under there. Okay, there we go. And I'm going to use this gold sprig coming off of it. Maybe I'll use that down here. And I'll maybe use this. Oh, there's a butterfly. I think what I may do is I'm going to put this under there like I said. Actually, no. I'm going to put it, I'll layer it between the mat and the journaling. So now, this, I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to cut it in half. I'm going to leave the part, save the part with the leaf on it for this. But I want it that way. I do want it this way. It's going to have to be that way because I have to cut it here. And then I will just kind of layer it in that same way right here. But so that you can still see the word favorite. And this should have a cute place to go. Maybe right there. And see, this is kind of sticking up, but once it gets into an album, a page protector and put into an album, it will be fine. Now here's where I may use my little pink camera. Now I'm going to put So Happy. So I need to be sure. Let me see, before I put my camera on, and let me put this, well, I'll put all the things that are left on here, including the camera. But now I want to do the, I see something else I can use. Got this piece of Flair, and I haven't used that label yet. I can squeeze that there. I like that. And let me put the adhesive on this so when I'm ready to use it, it's ready to go. Now, let me get the title on there. I love these little foam letters. Let me start with the Y and go backwards. I might be able to spell happy backwards. I'm going to kind of put it at an angle because I had to put the so at an angle. I've got a dot here that I don't want to lose. I love the little dots. Okay, I need 2 P's. And then an A. Here. And I'm going to kind of do it a little bit wonky. Well, not that wonky, okay? But it is okay if it's kind of like that. That's okay with me. So now I can put in, there is room, and I can put the camera at that same angle, and gosh, it's exactly the same color as the camera. That is just awesome. Okay, let me see if there's a spot, because I do need something, some combination of these things to write some additional journaling on. And I like the idea of maybe tucking it right here and then going across like that. So that will work, and I won't do any other embellishing down there, but I want to fit this in, and so I'm thinking maybe right here, and I can do a butterfly, maybe affixed sort of to that. We'll see how that works. And I've got this other little piece of, okay, that one, the top layer of it peeled off and now I'm stuck. Oh my gosh. Okay, so time for the glue. That's never happened. I thought it was coming off easily, but it was only the top layer. And I'm just such a klutz with these things. Okay, and that's okay. It wants to come up, you know, with the bag, and I will let it, I'm going to kind of press it down with my scissors. Like I said, when it gets in a page protector and into an album, it's going to be fine. God, I hate this backing. I think I won't use these when filming anymore. I will use them only for non-filmed things. Do I want this here and maybe this one here? This has the blue, so maybe I'll bring the blue over here. So I'll do this one here. And it kind of lifts that up with it. And this, I'm just gonna glue it to the flare and kind of tuck it under that flower. So there we go. Okay, I think I'm done, unless I wanted to use some of these, maybe another trio of those. And I also have another idea. I am noticing that this does not show up very well. So let me get my black pen and draw some lines. Just doodle a little bit on there. And there's not much that you have to do, but if you do a double line and kind of curve it around, it gives it a little bit of extra interest that makes it stand out. And I'm not going to do this one, and that may be a mistake. I may be passing up an opportunity. Do I want to do that? No, I like it the way it is, so I'm going to leave it. Let's see if I can use any more of these little guys. I might do a triangle of them down here. I could use, I'm going to do them off over here. Maybe kind of partly on, I'll use a yellow, partly on and partly off. And then I'll go with this orange, which might kind of picks up that coral look there. Okay. So now I'm going to write in Ma, why do penguins have happy feet? And then I'm going to put Ava, and I don't honestly know the year. I want to say 2014, because I think that may be when Happy Feet came out. So I will go look that up and make sure that I have the right year, because it would have been right after we watched Happy Feet. And we watched any penguin movie that there was. John was just a huge fan of the Penguins of Madagascar. And he loved this. Now, the one thing that I have not used that I said I wanted to use is this little floral brad. Let's see, where do I want this? I probably don't need it, and I will freely admit that, but I think maybe right here. There we go. And I want to make sure it's completely, well, where it is where it is, so it's not moving. Okay, thank you for watching. I'm going to call this done. I love the busy background. It's uncharacteristic of me to soften the colors, but that I did. And the penguins, the photo, just absolutely stands out just so well. And I love the black and white touches of the flare and all of these brads from the kit. I love this. And the bag, the cute bag. You know what? Since I'm using a bag, and it's about penguins, this bag may have been the one that this mix came in. It's called Penguin Suit, and it has black and silver and white and clear, including these great holographic circles. So I'm gonna use a few of those, just kind of, I've got lots of circles going on, but I thought anything that that's a little bit different texture kind of draws your eye to the other things. And I think it could add to it. So I'm going to use one down here. So I'm going to use them adjacent to other circular elements. And here, oh, that's just great. And then I'll add some of the others as accents, the black particularly. So I've got one there, and I think maybe one right there would be good. Let me just put it on the sequin. Okay, and it's stuck to the bag. So now I'm going to just write in little corners like this. I'm going to sprinkle in some of these matte solid black sequins. I think I have enough here, maybe not. Here's one. I just want 3. But I may have to pour some more out of the bag. Let's put one right here. One there. Okay, and then I'm going to do one up here with the triangles. And of course, you know, these triangles, the orange one kind of goes with the orange flowers, and the green is a perfect match for that green. The others are navy blue, and I have no navy blue in there, but they're close enough to black or gray that I thought they would work, and I like it. It doesn't contrast. Like I said, it didn't contrast as much as I would have liked, but it okay, so I used penguin suit sequins. I'm so proud. Jody will be so proud. I love these. I think I need to, there are like 3 or 4 different textures or sheens of black sequins in there. And I have some plain, regular old, you know, garden variety sequins that you would buy at a fabric store to put on a party dress. But I don't have any of those fancy black sequins, or didn't until I got that mix. And I see myself using this. Okay, looking at this through the camera view, the little black sequins really stand out, and so do these holographic circles. So I'm happy I did those. So nice afterthought. Again, now I'm done. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next Thursday for Challenge Accepted. And around, I'll just pop up every now and then to do a May I Scrap Lift You, and it may be you that I'm scrap lifting. Bye.